Hello again, it's me, Kimmy Moon, and as promised, I'm here with the first part of how to use Wavemaker version 4. So in the last video, I talked about how you set up a project, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to go to your project. I have imported some items so that you can see what I'm talking about a little bit. In this video, we're going to look at once you have imported or once you have created a project, where things are going to show up so that you can keep track of what you're doing and be able to use your folders and your documents. So the main focus for this video would be folders and documents, okay? So, for starters, when you open, I'm going to go back to projects real quick. When you open the book section, you can make a new book, and up here you see name, and down here you see description, all right? If I go back to one that's already open, this is where the name will show up, so we're going to open it. That's the name, and then this is the description. That's so that when you go back to open your books, you should be able to glance through. If you don't remember which one was for what, you now have a quick synopsis, so you know this is the book you're working on, or this is the description of it. Now, with this being a flexible program, like in this case, I'm writing this as a trilogy, so these are 3 separate books that are in progress all at the same time. I know most people don't do that. You know, whatever. I do whatever, okay? I don't have a standard. I will try and cover some of the things everyone else does so you can, you know, import the way you do it, but I just do whatever I feel like it. So anyway, back to the point. So let's say that you wanted to, instead of have separate books inside of the books, you wanted to separate it by chapter, or maybe you want to have all your characters under one category. Then you could simply name this one like characters, and then when you go back to the book section, now you have a whole book that's just for characters, and you could put in all the folders you want that pertain to characters. So since we have this open this way, I'm going to go ahead and use this as the way of explaining how your folders and documents work, since that's the focus of this video. All right, so you're going to have the book itself that is currently highlighted, and then these are your folders and these are your documents. With your folders, you can't really write anything in the folder. You can name it, but that's not where you're going to write. So if I were to click on this white space and start writing, nothing's going to happen, all right? What I would have to do is add a document inside the folder. So if I have the folder highlighted, see right now it's white in color, that means that's the folder that I'm in. It is closed, but that's the one that I'm in, okay? If I go back up here, it is clear again. So that means I'm not in that folder anymore. So I'm going to go back to that folder. And right now it's closed. If I click it again, it's open. I'm going to close it. I'm going to add a document. Now if I open it, now I have a document. With the folder system, I can also add additional folders. So as long as this is highlighted, I can click on folder. Then when I open it, I now have another folder. And you can add as many folders and documents as you want into any given section within the program that you're working in. So if I want to add like 5 documents in the folder that's currently highlighted, so let me close this one. See, this one is now closed, but it's highlighted. In fact, let me do it this way. I'm going to go back up to characters, which means I'm not in this folder. I'm going to click on add a folder. So now I have a new folder. I'm going to highlight that folder. See how it turned white? So that lets me know that's the one I'm in. Now I want to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. So I'm going to open it, and there you go. Now I have 5 sections in here that I can write in. So now let's say that on this folder, I am most focused on, let's say, hair and eye color. Okay, so then I can go up here and notice how when I just erased that word folder, nothing happened over here. It's because I didn't double click it. I wanted to demonstrate that for you so you could see how that's not going to work. So I can name this, we'll call it tuna fish, and it does not change the name of the folder because I didn't highlight it. So to change the name of the folder, I would need to click this twice and make sure it's either like highlighted, see how it turned blue. Then I can come up here and notice how the words disappeared over here. That lets you know you're actually changing the name of the folder. That was one of my small pet peeves, by the way, because I'm going, how come the folder name didn't change? Well, that's how. You have to highlight it first, and then you can change it. So let's say we're going to call this one eye and hair color. Then for each of these sections, I now want to say that, you know, this is Charles, who's character 1. All right, that's not true, but we're just going to say it as. And we're going to say that Charles has green eyes and he has blue hair. Okay, so now I can go back to this and see how it's going to give me a highlight. So for each character, I can just put the character, and I would know that if I'm in the eye and hair color folder, I can go down and I'm going to be able to see Charles at a glance. I can see Belinda, and she's going to have red eyes, and she's going to have purple hair. None of this is true, naturally. I'm just showing you how this works. And then maybe we've got Steven, and he's going to have brown eyes and brown hair, whatever, right? Okay. So I can go back up here and I can even close this folder, and I can still just go to eyes and hair color and just go all the way down my list. So if I need to see in the middle of a chapter, oh my God, what color were Belinda's eyes? Well, there you go. Now I can find her eyes. Got it? Cool, huh? All right. So in using the folders, folders, you want to add them wherever you want to add them. You can add as many of them as you want, and anywhere within the document within the menu of your document. So if you're doing a whole section that just has characters, you can do the same thing. Like you can add a new folder. Oh, sorry. I'd have to go to characters, add a folder. And then this could be, you know, height or weight or their location, or it can be one folder per character and you have all their information. Either way, you would determine what you want to know about the characters, in which you now have an at-a-glance system that just lets you scroll down to see what everyone's doing. All right. Now that's for the characters, but we're talking about, for the most part, your folders. So if I want to move the folders around, I can left click and then move it, and it moves direction. I could do the same thing with any document. So in here, I've got Charles. Let's say I want to move Charles up here. Then he's now going to be outside of the folders because that's where I put it. But let's say I want to put him in this folder. Then I can click on this folder. Oh, look at that. It didn't move because I have to highlight the folder and open it, and then I can move Charles into the folder. So you do have to open the folder just like you would in real life. You open the folder and you can add the character into that folder. You close the folder and he's snug tight in there. But let's say I now want to move Charles' eye and hair color back to his eye and hair color. I need to open that folder, highlight Charles or pick him up with my left click, and then move him down, and I can snugly put him back in that folder. All right, so hopefully that made sense. That was a really quick demonstration there of how your folders work. If it's highlighted, it means that's the one you're in. And if it's not, if it's clear colored, then that's not the one you're in. For each one that you're in, you can see everything in it just by scrolling up and down within it. If you want to open it, then you would need to click on it to show that you're still in the folder. And then you can open and close it in order to move the files back and forth. These are your documents, and for each document, you can either put it in a folder or out. So like I can open a document, I can write what I want to and then open a folder and insert it. So let's say I'm going to say that, you know, Belinda smacked Charles. Excuse the typos here. My keyboard is nowhere near where it's supposed to be. So we're going to title this one The Smack. Okay, now I want to move the smack into this folder up here. So I'm going to open the folder and then I'm going to move the smack into that folder. Oops, it went into a minor folder. Look at that. So I need to put it above the other folders. There we go. Now if I want to see it again when I'm in my folders, there he is. I can leave this closed and I can still see a nice little highlight of the smack. Okay. Now notice what you see in here are the smack and a new section. If I open this, that's because the smack and the section are two documents. The folders do not show up in the highlighted section. I would have to go to the folder itself. Now you might say, well, why the hell, right? Well, that could come in handy, for instance, if maybe you need information that's not pertinent, like I might need to glance at where was she born. So if I have all the data based on location, but then somewhere there's a minor detail like special things about Charles, you know, he's got a sixth pinky or something. He has 6 fingers on one hand. Princess Bride. Anyway, then we can make a new folder that's a subfolder that would just tell us about Charles. And that folder could go under Charles. So to demonstrate that, let's go back to eye and hair color. Up here, we can see Charles' eye and hair color. If I want to take this folder, move it down here, and put it so that it's in relation to Charles. When I'm up here, all I'm going to see is his eye and hair color because the folder does not show up. I can open it, go to the folder, add a document within that folder. And this document would be all about Charles, right? So we've got, so we know it's all about Charles and that he has an extra pinky. Okay, so that's what we know about Charles, okay? Now, if I go back up and I'm writing, so I'm glancing through, I don't really want to see his pinky problem when I'm looking for his eyes and hair. But at some point, if someone says, you know, and Charles hurt his hand, oh my gosh, what did his hand look like? So I'm going to click on eyes and color, go down here to where Charles is, look at the new folder, and this is where I can find all about Charles, his extra pinky. Okay, so if you want to go in that detail, you can. That's just one way that you can use your documents and folders. Now, they have a lot of ways for you to reference, so you don't have to use this method. I'm just showing you how you would do it with your folders and your documents. And that's pretty much all there is to it when it comes to opening a folder, making a new folder, naming a folder, opening a document, naming a document, and moving them up and down within your menu. And it works the same regardless. Now, you cannot take a folder and move it to another book. So the only way you'd be able to do that is, like, if we go to the smack, then I can go up here and let's say I'm going to copy it. I go back out of the project. I want to go back to this project. Then I can put it in the stuff folder by creating a new document and then, of course, pasting the smack into the new document or into the new project. Now, they do have things that will cross over between project to project. We'll get into that later. Right now, we're just talking about your folders and your documents, and that's pretty much how you use them. The way you open your projects is with these. The way you delete it is with these. And the way you make a new one is with this. Now, to be clear, this program sets kind of like it's separate from everything else in your computer. So if you delete something, it is gone for good. All right. So you have to make sure that you do constantly back up, even though this Wavemaker auto saves whatever you type in here, but you do have to make sure that whatever it is that you're working on, that it gets exported, or the whole thing will disappear if you don't export that file and then you close this project it is gone. So you have to make sure that you save. That's what this little thing is up here. Make sure you save it. If you want to open this in a different document, like in a Google Docs, a Word doc, a Zoho file, any kind of word processing type thing, that's what these are for. We'll get into that in another one. I just want to make sure that you are well aware that that is the most important part. Save, because once it's gone, it's gone. It will give you notice, like right here, this section is empty. To get rid of it, there's an X that shows up. So I'm going to click X and it'll say, are you sure you want to delete it? Yes, I do. It says it's gone. I say, okay, right? Now it's gone. It's not coming back. I can't go on my computer, look in the trash file or anything. It is gone because this program stands alone. It is not connected to other parts of your computer, which is why you can use it on multiple devices, which is a good thing. But you cannot find something once it's gone. So make sure you save it. All right, that's it for this. I think that was pretty self-explanatory. So now you know how to open and close your folders, move your documents in and out of folders. And for the most part, you determine what works best for you in terms of, you know, what makes sense. What do you need most when you're writing? And we'll go over some of that as I'm writing my book. And hopefully you'll pick up some pointers along the way to find out how this program will work for you too. All right, that's it for now. Happy writing. Enjoy Wavemaker for free.